Hello and welcome to my first live yoga class. Today we are going to be doing a no hands yoga because I can't bear a lot of weight on my right hand and I really wanted to give you guys a live video. A lot of times people think that yoga is all about flexibility or strength or power, and it's not. It's about connection. It's about connection to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. And in times like this where we really still want to practice, but we have things going on, there's always place and room to adjust. So we are going to begin in a mountain pose. So standing in the middle of your mat, grounded and rooted down into your feet, into your being. I want you to spread your toes, start to get really comfortable here. Keep your hands or palms down at your side. And today we are going to begin in mountain. So closing your eyes, beginning to breathe here. We're going to take a couple deep inhales and exhales. Inhale, and I want your stomach to rise, and on the exhale, our stomachs are going to drop. So because we're standing, it might not feel as easy as if you were laying down, but I want you to imagine you have a hand on your stomach, or you can physically put your hand on your stomach and feel that deep belly breath. And if you're not there, that's okay. I want you to just start to imagine it, to feel it in your body. So, in mountain pose, eyes closed, taking a few deep breaths here. I want you to begin to think about your intention. This practice can happen any time of the day, but what's your intention right now? Why are you here? What draws you to the mat? And I want you to carry that intention throughout your whole body and let it go. Breathing here, settling into this space. Keeping your eyes closed. I'll tell you when to open. Then we're going to inhale, swan dive our arms up, keeping a subtle bend in our elbows so we don't hurt those joints. We're going to exhale, forward fold, exhale, halfway up, flat back, extending through that spine, knees bent. Inhale, rise all the way up to mountain, settle our arms back down. Coming into a warm-up here. So our warm-up is how we're really going to ease into the practice and get ready for our day or get ready. Our warm-up is how we're going to ease into the practice. So because we're doing no hands yoga, we're not going to go straight to the mat. We are not going into a child's pose. We're going to start in a skater pose. So we're going to keep 3 to 5 feet in between our legs, and we are going to keep our toes facing forward, heels slightly back, and we're just gonna bend one knee, putting weight into that right side or left side, wherever you are, the inside of that leg, that inner thigh. And throughout this practice, I want you to take breaths on your own time. So when we go back to our breath, we are going back to the rhythm, and that's what yoga is. It's a rhythmic practice. And here, I'm not changing my leg position. I'm not doing anything. I'm just keeping that straight horizontal plane, and I'm just shifting my hips, keeping that subtle bend. And you can kind of have gentle movement here if you don't want to stand still. You might see this pose in a workout, skater pose, where you jump. But in yoga, we do stay still. You can move your arms side to side, just warming up through that lower body. Then on the next breath in and out, I want you to come back to center. And we're going to be shifting into a spread foot pose. So keeping that position, you're slowly just going to fold forward. And here's a really good time to grab a tool. There's no embarrassment when it comes to using tools or props. So because this is no hands yoga, everything is light. This is all the weight in my lower body. So right here, my upper body is very loose but still active. But in spread foot pose, we can bring our hands to the mat, gently rested. We can come side to side on one leg, or we can stay right in the middle with a block either way. So whatever feels good for you. In this pose, you're going to keep your toes a little pointed towards each other and your heels a little out, kind of pigeon-toed, letting that body relax, almost like we're in a forward fold here. And you're going to release all that tension in the lower body, or open up the lower body, hips, the inner thighs, the feet, even the back of the spine. Breathing in and out. Relaxed but active. And then on the next breath in, you're gonna shift up, gently rising up, placing our hands on our hips. Taking a breath in. Exhale it out through the mouth or the nose. And then we're gently gonna turn our feet to face the outer sides of our mat. And this is called goddess or horse. So similar to the other positions, we're opening up those inner thighs, but here we're actually building a little bit of strength in our legs too, rather than release. So, in goddess, you can put your hands on your thighs, you can put them at your heart, above head, whatever feels right for you. I'm not going to tell you what to do, what way feels best. This is a practice for you and your time. Next, inhale in. We're gonna gently turn our feet out to face the front of the mat. Slowly rise up to standing and then shimmy it in, heel toe, or walk back to the center of your mat. We're gonna be moving into a tree pose, coming into a tree on that left side. So before we get into tree, I want to talk about how tree is actually really important. A lot of times people think tree is a very common, gentle pose that really doesn't do much. But tree is a very grounding, balanced pose. So when we're in tree, to make it a grounding, balanced pose, in really any form of balance or any, single leg work, what we want to do is when we're coming into that leg, we're always keeping a subtle bend, and I'll repeat that constantly. We're keeping a subtle bend in our knees, a subtle bend in our arms, always in the joints, making sure that they're protected. So we come into this subtle bend. It's like we're in a mountain, but even maybe a little bit more bent. And we're grounded through our feet, steady here. And we want to have that hip active. So instead of locking out our leg and popping out that hip, which really hurts the hip joint, which really hurts the knee joint, we want to make sure we're centered, our knees are bent, and we're actually active through that whole leg. So right here, I feel it in my inner thigh, I feel it in my hip, I feel it throughout my whole leg. But when I'm here, I don't feel it anywhere except right here. And that is not okay. That's gonna hurt your body and actually cause more damage. So in tree, we wanna make sure we have that really strong foundation through each leg. So coming in on that left side or right side, whatever feels right for you, we're gonna inhale, and you can bring your opposite leg up to your shin. You can gently use your hand. I'm not gonna use my right hand because my wrist is a little because my wrist is a little sore today. So I'm gonna take my left hand to my right foot, and I'm gonna bring it up, and you can put it right above the knee, or you can go even higher and go right up to that inner thigh. Ooh. And this is why we want to have a strong position so we don't flop over and hurt our bodies. So here, I'm all the way at the top. And you can either place your hands at your sides, in the sky, like a tall tree, or again, at your heart. Here, I'm gonna go to my sides today. I'm gonna really keep it light in my arms, but whatever feels good for you. So we breathe here. Take taking at least 3 to 5 breaths on your own time. And you want your focus to either be in front of you at the ground or even facing the wall across, or the, something in the horizon, just so we keep our bodies level. So after that breath out, we're gonna inhale and just step it back down. Ooh. Shake out those legs. If you did follow it with me and were fully grounded into that left leg, you should definitely feel it in your left leg right now. And then we're gonna move to our right leg. So again, grounding through that right leg, you can see my left leg kind of goes a little light here. I have a lot of strength in my right leg. So get that bend in, strong in that hip. And then I'm gonna inhale, and again, bring my foot all the way to the top, but you choose what feels good for you. Taking a few breaths here. Then we're gonna inhale, exhale, step it down. Ooh, shake out those legs. Okay, from tree, we're gonna move into eagle. So we'll just start with the left leg again, or the right leg, whatever feels right. And then, but this time, what we're gonna do, we're gonna ground through that leg, we're gonna pick up that opposite leg, and we're just gonna gently wrap it around the opposite. So you can hook your foot if you want to, you can just rest it to the side. You don't even have to go high. You can kind of keep like a low eagle if you want, where you're kind of like, it's almost like a curtsy or something, but an opposite, So you're gonna do a curtsy, kind of, or bring that foot up, wrap it around. And then because we're on that left side, I want you to take your right arm underneath your left side, hook it on the outside, and now we have a left leg, left arm stretch. And what we're doing here is we're trying to keep still while we're stretching out that upper and lower body, but also in a subtle active twist. One more breath. Exhale, unravel, round through, shake it out, and then we'll come into the other side. So either a curtsy or full eagle. And this time, we're gonna take that opposite arm, so my left arm, underneath my right arm, hook here, and right arm, right leg for me. I'm a little wobbly right now, but that's okay. My hands are very light and gentle, so I don't feel like they're stiff, but they're definitely active, and they're light but active. Ooh! Ooh, yikes. You're gonna gently, again, unravel. Stepping back into a mountain, here kind of, you might need to spread your feet out again. Taking deep breaths in and out. And I want you to take a moment to either get some water, but have some space for yourself to check in, see where you're at right now compared to the beginning of the practice. Inhale, exhale. All right, let's move to the ground. So if you don't want to use your hands, you can just fall right down into a seat or come down in your way. What we're gonna do is we are gonna come into a butterfly. Butterfly is a pose that's really great at opening up the inner thighs and the legs. And if you haven't got it by now, because we're not using our hands, we are doing a lot more lower body. So we want to gently take care of these joints, these muscles, and be kind to ourselves, We tend to feel like we need to rush through it and do all these strong, powerful things, but these poses are here to ground you, to keep you active, but also to keep you feeling relaxed. So Butterfly is a wonderful position to come into, just to gently open up those hips, those legs. So the closer your feet are to your body, the deeper the stretch. The farther they are, not as deep. So some of you might be feeling like, whoa, I'm really tense right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I can't put my leg very close. Totally cool. Put it out here, right? It's a kind of long, like moth almost, rather than a butterfly, but it doesn't matter. We're doing what feels good for us. We're not on anyone else's agenda. So I'm gonna come here because I feel like I do need a little bit deeper of a stretch. I'm holding a lot of tension in my body lately. And I'm gonna put my hands on my feet, or they can go right out in front of you, just rest on the floor. And again, coming back to that rhythm of the breath, keeping your gaze forward in front of you, back active but relaxed too, slightly folded. And then from here, we're gonna go into a cow face. And then we're gonna inhale one more time, exhale it out, and move into cow face. So cow face is a really nice hip opener, a deep hip stretch. I really use it a lot in my practice, as I don't feel like pigeon is always the best pose to go into when you're trying to open up those hips. I love it, but at the same time, I think a lot more people are, I feel like more people would be drawn to a seated posture, as sometimes we just build up a lot of tension, and pigeon can feel like a really peculiar, uncomfortable position. So we're gonna bring our left leg or your right leg to the opposite side, kind of like half crisscross, like, you know, coming into a model pose here. And then we're gonna drape that other foot across the top. So we're in a diamond shape. And here we're gonna feel it deep in our hips. You should feel it right away. And it's kind of the same sensation as a pigeon. You can stay here, placing your hands on the ground if this feels like enough for you. But if it doesn't feel like enough for you, you can move your hands slowly, crawling forward and folding over your legs. And this will provide a deeper stretch. And again, still no pressure in my hands. So my hands are here, they're still no pressure in my hands. My hands are just rested on the ground. Breathing into that belly. Exhaling out of the mouth of the nose. Taking a couple breaths on your own time. And then we're gonna exhale, walk it up. Switch sides. Right leg, my right leg's underneath, my left leg on top now. I always hear teachers say, like, breathe in through your nose, out through your nose for most of the practice. And I tend to find that sometimes by breathing into my nose and exhaling out of that mouth, we call, it's called lion's breath, where we release this intense breath. And when I release, when I'm practicing and I breathe in my nose and I exhale sometimes out of my mouth, not every breath, it almost feels like it can really expel the energy, expel those thoughts, you know, get it out of my system. So I'm not trying to go off tangent, but anywho. So we're gonna fold forward or stay up top. Letting our arms relax here, our legs ground into the mat. We're going to take another breath in, exhale it out. Come Come back up to center if you were over legs, or come back to center. And then we're gonna do a seated head to foot pose. I'm gonna start with my right leg. My right leg is gonna go out in front of me. So extending that leg out, still with that subtle bend, active foot. Your knee can also come up to a bend too if that feels right. We're gonna face that foot, so keeping our shoulders towards that foot. And then we're gonna just exhale, hold it forward. Again, active feet, strong legs, not a rounded back, but an active back. We don't wanna crunch it forward or push and press. These poses are not about pain. They're about easing into your life. Exhale, bring it up. Taking a breath, switching sides. Again, facing that other foot, folding forward in whatever way feels right for you. You come up, back to a seat, take a breath in, take a breath out. And we are at the end of our practice. So what we're going to be doing now is transitioning into a Shavasana. I might not lay in a Shavasana just so you can hear me, but the corpse pose or Shavasana is one of the most essential parts of this practice. This is the place where you get to check back in with yourself and understand why you're here. So coming down to the mat, into a Shavasana, into a corpse pose. Start to inhale and exhale into that belly. Breathing deep. And bringing that awareness back to your intention. Why are you here today? What brought you to the mat? Developing that rhythm once again. And checking in with your body. How do you feel right now? And then on the next breath out, keeping your eyes closed, I want you to roll over into a fetal position. Eyes closed, tucking that arm underneath your head. Feeling your body relax down. Feeling how much more connected you could feel. Feeling that deeper connection. And then we're gonna inhale, again, keeping those eyes closed, so I'll tell you when to open. Coming up into a seat. Hands either rested on the knees or on the lap. Feeling the heart. Feeling your heart beat. Feeling your body settle. I want you to inhale with your eyes closed, Bringing those hands above head. Exhale down to heart center. Thank you for joining me in this practice today. Thank you for bringing yourself here to the mat. Feeling that gratitude, feeling that love, feeling the sensations of feeling good, whatever good means to you. The light within me honors the light within you and the light within all. Namaste. Thank you for joining me in my first ever live yoga class. I'm Kenzie Miles, and I hope to see you soon.